Pastor Chris asked me to talk about how our small groups can become not just a meeting or Bible study, but a community that really, truly cares about each other. So, when I think about care, I think about family. And for many of us, that's the people that raised us or that we grew up with. For others, and in myself included, it's people that I'm not biologically related to, but they are like family to me because we're knit together by so many experiences and in honor and love. And so when I say the word family, I just want you to think about it beyond maybe just your biological family. Think about all of the people that have been like a family to you that have meant so much to you in your life. And that's how I want you to think about family when I talk about care today. So with that in mind, we all know that no family is perfect. And so when you think about caring for your small group, when you think about this community that's evolving, that's growing together, just know that it's always going to be imperfect. That no matter how great you are as a small group leader, there will always be struggles, and there will always be maybe some people that annoy you. Like your little sister might have annoyed you, or your big brother might have annoyed you. There might be someone who just kind of, gets at you the wrong way. But the thing about it is that through Christ, we have become more than just personalities. We have become brothers and sisters in Christ. And so whenever you come to that point where you realize, wow, I thought this small group was going to be this wonderful group of perfect friends, that's actually not what's going to happen. And even Jesus showed us that in his small group that he was leading. And so just keep that in mind, but also know that you can press through to Jesus together as a group, and that sometimes when you do, in the midst of maybe some drama, in the midst of maybe some conflict, that's when you truly begin to care for each other, when you have pressed through maybe some struggles. Caveat, I just like to say that if you are in a place of struggle and it's just something that you cannot handle alone, maybe there's some difficulty, there's some strife in your family, in your small group that you can't navigate, please reach out to Pastor Chris or someone else, maybe like a senior small group leader, someone who's been doing it for a while, so that you can talk through with them maybe how to help your group or help just those one or two people or yourself and another person walk with Jesus through that storm or through that struggle, whatever is going on. So that's what you got to keep in mind when it comes to family, right? No family is perfect, but we're going to care for each other as a family. So start with the letter F, first letter in family. So hey, this is one of my favorites. It's fun. Fun, and by fun, I mean fun in the group and fun outside the group. So in the group, every week when I plan and I get ready for group, I think about what can we do, question can I ask that will help us laugh together at least once tonight. Of course, sometimes you're going to be talking about something serious, and so you might only want to keep that funny thing at the very beginning when, people are maybe showing up late or people are having snacks or whatever. And that way it's not awkward if you jump into that, hilarious time, like right in the middle of some kind of deep personal sharing time. But always have an element of fun and plan on that. Make a point to have that be a part of every meeting. Make sure that you're having some opportunities outside of the group. Doesn't have to be every week. I would shoot for maybe once a month when you are having some fun together. Next, A, accessible. So this is where care needs to be accessible to everyone. Does your group know how to reach you? Do they know how to reach each other? They need to be accessible to each other as much as you are accessible to them. You are a small group leader, but you are not the center of the small group. Jesus is the center of the small group. So make sure that you're empowering and enabling everyone in your group to connect with each other, to care for each other. And that means sharing phone numbers, email addresses, Instagram, whatever is the best for your group, that everyone has access to this information about how they can get in touch with each other. Also, as far as accessible goes, if you have a time like a Sabbath or something, or even work hours where you're not accessible by the phone, please just let people know that in advance. That way, if they're having a moment of panic and they can't reach you, they know to reach out to someone else and that you're not ignoring them. That's just kind of a way to be proactive and maybe solve someone some frustration at some point. Of course, you don't have to alert someone every time that you're going to be unavailable, but if there are some just general times when you're unavailable on purpose, then let them know that. Next is M, moments. Okay, so this is like birthdays, weddings, baby showers, when people are sick in the hospital, those big moments in life. Who's there with you for those moments? Your family. And so when it comes to being a small group leader and empowering your small group to love and care for each other, we need to be intentional about being part of those moments in people's lives. Just today, I dropped a card in the mail to one of my small group members who is coming up on the anniversary of her father's passing. That's a huge moment in her life. And as her small group leader, I want to be part of that. And I also asked a few other members who know that part of her story to send her something as well, so that I'm not the only one. I'm not the center of the group. Jesus is the center. So I empowered them. I asked them to participate as well, to be a part of that moment with her. Next is instructions. Okay, so care is really hard to do if everything is just crazy. If people feel like they're disrespected, not heard, their confidentiality is not even an option, then there's no way that they're going to feel cared for. And so sometimes it really pays to give everyone some instructions. Now, some people will know without any instruction kind of how to conduct themselves in a group like this because maybe they've been a part of a group before. But you can't assume that, and I find that it's always best just to kind of lay some ground rules. So the group that I'm leading currently, I asked them to help me establish what guidelines would help them feel really safe and comfortable in a small group. And so they helped me generate these rules, and here they are. These are our house rules. So we go over these literally every week, and maybe they think it's kind of monotonous, but I think it's just a good reminder for all of us so that we can continue to honor one another and care for each other every week in small group. Okay, so here it is. What happens at KDIS, that's my house, that's my address, stays at KDIS. This space is a gossip-free zone. It's not coming in, and it's not sneaking out. Number 2, friends with benefits. Okay, that sounds crazy, but basically we're committed to being friends outside of small group. Okay, also sounds kind of weird. Support your girls. Snaps, show your agreement or encouragement. We just talked about that as a way to encourage each other and affirm each other in the group without interrupting or interjecting while someone was talking. That way we can just kind of like, yeah, we like that. Next is practice the fine art of honoring listening. And so when we were developing these rules, we talked about what does that mean? What does honoring listening look like? And all of you know what I'm talking about here. I'm certain that you're being respectful, that you're not interrupting, that you're looking people in the eye, that you're giving everyone a chance to share if they want to, etc. All right, next one, huge. Shouldn't need to be said, but it does, so say it. Phones are great, but tacky at meetings, so give those apps a break. So just have people every time before group, hey, don't forget to please put your phone away so we can be present to the Lord and to each other. Next and last, no hurtful judging allowed, just loving challenge. So we don't want to set a precedent that no one's going to ever say anything or the scripture is never going to bother you or challenge you, but we do want them to know, we do want to set a precedent that we're just going to do that, a loving challenge. And that also includes us judging ourselves. And so we say that rule every week just so that when you come in and you're thinking about, oh, I think I might want to share about this, but I don't know if it's a good idea, or that rule kind of nips that in the bud in the sense that you can't judge yourselves and your own ideas and your own input and your own thoughts and comments. So that's I, instructions. All right, 2 more. We're on our way to family here. L is Lagniappe. So this is just like a little something extra, right? So it might be like a gift, something small. You don't have to go to Mignon Faget or anything and get everybody matching necklaces or, buy everyone new golf clubs or anything like that. I'm talking about something that's thoughtful, that maybe you put a little bit of care and thought into for people in your group. For example, last semester, I went to Michael's and I bought $1 journals for everyone in my group, and they were all different, they were all unique, and I just spent some time, like, it was really fun just trying to decide, like, ooh, I think this one would be great for this person, I think this one would be great for this person. And I'm serious, it was like, maybe not all, but at least they faked it real good, that they loved it. They just thought it was really special, and they brought those journals to small group and used them to keep notes and kind of write reflections and do their homework in. And so it wasn't expensive at all, and it's not something that you need to do all the time. Maybe your Lagniappe is taking everyone to snowballs at the end of the semester before the summer or something like that. Just like a little something, like you want to treat your family, right? Like you want to do something special for them. So that's that little Lagniappe. And last is why. Okay, so when you think about your small group, I want you to think about these are your people. Your people. God has entrusted them to you. He's given you responsibility for them. And so that is an incredible privilege and also an incredible responsibility. And they're your people, but not just your people. Remember, we want to help people transition in care to them thinking these are my people. And so that group doesn't just become like your family, but that each person in the group begins to feel like these are my people. And so being really intentional and thinking about what can I do? What small things can I do throughout the week, throughout the meeting, throughout this month to help everyone in my group feel like these people are starting to become my people. They're not just your people. And so together we can learn to care for them with God's Spirit's help, for sure, because sometimes you're just tired and you've been caring for your family or you've been caring for your neighbors and you just don't have a lot more to give. So with Jesus' help, we can learn to care for one another. We can learn to teach others to care for one another. And I believe we can reach out even beyond that to care for people outside of our group together as a group. Hey, that's all I have for you guys. I hope this is helpful. So yeah, have a lot of fun with your family. Love ya.